Hello people, it's the Secret Anime Fan here. Today's video is on Brannew. This video would usually cover the history, abilities and personality, but I think this video in itself will be more on the discussion part that I usually do in my character stories, because Brannew's doesn't really have too many large appearances in the series. Nevertheless, I do find him quite interesting. Expect spoilers for One Piece, and let's get started. Just a heads up, I might mispronounce his name a few times. His name is Brandnew, so it's kind of like Brandnew. So if I say Brandnew or Brannew, I'm sorry. But talking about his name, Brandnew, and given his role of revealing fresh new information in the One Piece series, I can only imagine that Oda himself chose the name Brandnew to sound like Brandnew, which I find pretty cool for him to do. And yeah, let's get started, or let's continue. I've added this in after I've recorded the video, so yeah. So we don't know anything about his early career, but we do have a picture of him in his youth, which is pretty cool to see. We also know a little about him currently in the story, but we do first see him in chapter 96 and episode 45 of the anime, and this is where we learn he is the commander rank in the Marines. He is seen in a meeting hall where all the Marines gather, and this is where they discuss things. And the thing they were discussing today was the man himself, Monkey D. Luffy, and they were talking about his feats in the East Blue. I'm talking about him defeating Buggy, Don Krieg, and Arlong, and they discuss the issuing of Luffy's bounty of 30 million, a very high bounty for an East Blue pirate. I think the average bounty is 3 million in the East Blue, so Luffy got 30, that's 10 times more. That's pretty impressive. And this is basically his job in the series, and the bulk of his appearance in the series are to talk about Luffy's feats, but not just Luffy, seen talking about other occurrences like major events in the One Piece world. And he talks about the 7 Wars of the Sea, and often the Yonko, and he often talks about their bounties as well, but not exclusively about their bounties. So before I took more in depth about this, I want to quickly summarize his history so far in the story, outside of them conference hall, meeting hall appearances that he makes in the series. So we see him next, or other appearances are seen when he's seen in the Marineford arc, participating in the war, but had at some point got injured. He's seen just after the war had wrapped up, looking for and finding Fleet Admiral Sengoku, where he informed him about the escape of the level 6 impaled down prisoners. I got a video on them, so go check that out. Now, let's get back to his role in the Marines, which I have said before I found interesting. Now, I'm not talking about his rank here. I'm actually talking about his assignment to reveal the information of major events in One Piece to the Marines gathered in the conference hall, whom many must outrank him. So he must have some trust for his capability to discuss such matters, because these people who outrank him aren't given the job. So maybe, he's better known for his, organization, intelligence, and things like that. And he often leads the helm or head of the discussion of what things to do and what the plan is to deal with the situation. He's seen discussing what tactics to take to tackle the events he's talking about. Let's take the most recent example. Expect manga spoilers here. When revealing to the rest of the Marines present of the disbanding of the 7 warlords and the possibility that the 2 Yonko, Big Mom and Kaido are on the verge of forming an alliance, he says they have not yet created a method of how to counter them, and this indicates to me that he would usually state the tactics. They would discuss them with Brannew leading the helm into the discussion, and they would have gone on to do so, but Sengoku cut him short basically to talk about the Rocks Pirates, and then the meeting is cut short by Akano, so poor Brannew here. Now, I'm not saying Brannew himself comes up with his tactics from scratch, but he may have a part in creating them. I can imagine he leads the conversation of what the Marines suggest to him. So he says it, they say, well, let's do this, and he'd be like, well, maybe, what do you think? And so forth. And then he kind of like takes it all in, formulates a critique of what he's just heard, and then he forms the tactics, and then everyone kind of, agrees, or just about agrees. And then they set out the plan, and it's issued to all the Marines in the world. Then he would go on to get the approval of his superiors, and we have actually seen him. They are often present themselves in these conference hall meetings. I'm talking about Sengoku here, Now, it might just be that he just doesn't make any critique to what the plan he's been given. He just slaps all the stuff on the whiteboard or blackboard, whatever they're using in the anime. I can't quite remember. The notice board, I suppose you could call it. And let's talk about something else. He also has to prepare and present all the information about these recent events that occur in the One Piece world and present them in detail. It's like he's basically presenting a seminar or maybe like a PowerPoint. Now, I know all of this doesn't sound too extraordinary, but hey, this character is hype for us, the viewers, because when we see him pop up, we know he's going to reveal something juicy for the most part anyway, and we get to see a glimpse into the Marines' reactions to these major events in the One Piece world, and we get to know what the actions of the world government are going to take in reaction to the events. His other job is often to report to his superiors about events, like he did with Sengoku at the end of the Marineford, and I think he did it with Akainu in the filler, and I can't really quite remember that, so sorry about that. So, is Brandnew just a glorified message boy used to just reveal info, or do you think he has more importance in the One Piece story? Let me know in the comment section. As for me, you may have guessed, I think Brandnew is actually key for the Marines when dealing with major events in the world. He also has the job of trying to control a room full of egos with conflicting opinions and beliefs. He also might be the link between the Marines and the other world government factions. For example, when he went to go inform Sengoku about the Impel Down escapees, he informed Sengoku that the world government wants to cover it up. Being the first one to know about these things is a pretty big responsibility to have. If he got caught by like a pirate or something, like the chain of command, not knowing this kind of info could, majorly hurt the Marines. Okay, so before I end the video, I might as well have some fun with discussing his abilities and powers. So, Brandnew got a promotion during the time skip. He's now a Commodore. So, given that progression, the time between his first promotion or his first reveal of his rank and his promotion is 604 chapters. His last appearance in the manga is 957. So, it's been 257 chapters since his last promotion, rounding that up to 300, and he's due for like a 1 rank promotion, making him a rear admiral. So this might mean Brandnew might not even know haki yet. We know all vice admirals have at least one form of haki, but if I had to guess which one he might have been focusing on to learn, well, it would probably be observation haki, as I think that best suits his character. After all, he's got to see if Garp has fallen asleep in the back of the conference room. We know Garp likes to fall asleep all the time. Now, let's talk about his age. So his age is 56, so that's 1 year older than Akainu. So they're about in their prime of power. That's, of course, if you believe that the 40s and 50s are a character's prime in One Piece, and not that they're 30s or 20s. It's up for debate, but we do know Kaido and Big Mom are stronger now than they were in their youth, so there may be a little wiggle room for him to get a bit more powerful in the next few years and perhaps even reach Vice Admiral rank. Now, every character is different, so who knows if he will ever reach that rank, but I think Rear Admiral suits him best. He didn't fare too well in the Marineford arc or war, but he didn't get killed or even heavily injured. Other than that, we know his choice of weapon is a sword, but his ability to wield it, we don't know if he's efficient in it. It's just unknown, and we'll probably never know about that. Okay, now I want to go back to the messenger boy point, as I just remembered something. So he might take messages between the Marines to the Cypher Pole faction, or he might take messages to the officials working for the Celestial Dragons. I know Cypher Pole do work for the Celestial Dragons, but they might not always be about. But as recent manga readers will know, there is possibly another department that he may give messages to. Actually, there's two. Number one is the Special Science Group, who is run by Vegapunk, whom Brandnew himself notes that the SSG is their next hope to fill the void of the disbanding of the Seven Warlords. The next department, or maybe I should say top secret special force, within the Marines that is known as Sword. Brandnew was most likely the one who informed Kobe of the events occurring in the world. He then told X-Drake, and X-Drake told Kobe of the events in Wano, and Kobe may have well handed that info to Brandnew, as we see him discussing it in the next chapter. Anyway, I would love to see more info involving Brandnew, like his IQ for example. And that's it for this video, a bit different than the normal videos I make with the normal character stories I make, but I hope you enjoyed it. I have more character stories in the making for One Piece and Dragon Ball Z. Please like and subscribe, and see ya!